All right, parents, let's make each other feel better. I'm not a bad parent, but that's the phrase that you're going to say, and then you're going to share your parenting mistake. I'm not a bad parent, but XYZ happened. 1-855-BERT-SHOW, 855-237-8746. So I shared recently that I was 30 minutes late picking my kid up from camp. I felt so bad about it. I know it's like in the range of mistakes, it was a small one. I actually did end up getting the teacher a little gift, by the way, later that week on the last day of camp, and took it to her apologizing that, she had to stick around for 30 minutes.
What'd you get her?
Oh, I got her a bottle of wine.
Oh. Much needed.
Did you get Jimmy anything for having to wait 30 minutes?
Oh, he was fine.
He also got wine.
His mother got wine because she was in a better mood. No, so and I had so many because I was posted about this on my Insta story, and I had so many people hit me up in the DM sharing like the parenting mistakes they had made, and tons of parents had been late, forgot to pick up their kids, had taken their kids to school when it was a day off. One of my favorites though. So Mara Davis, who's a friend of the Bert Show, I posted, what I did about, being late, being late and picking up Jimmy at camp. And she said, I once packed a beer in Charlie's lunch by accident at a church camp instead of a lime LaCroix. Don't beat yourself up. He'll never remember.
That's hilarious.
Well, if Jesus can turn water into wine, maybe you can turn beer into water.
Right? So I hit her back and I go, best response I've gotten. And she goes, that Sierra Nevada can looks just like lime LaCroix. True story. And you have permission to tell it if you want. So 185 Show, if you want to go ahead and just, we're all human. We're all fallible. We all make mistakes, and that parenting's not gonna be an exemption to that rule.
How about this one? I was drinking a little drink that had a salt rim on it, and then my daughter came up to me with a boo-boo. She had gotten a cut, and I love salt rims. Like, I'll just lick the salt right off. And so I just done that, and then I kissed her cut. Salt in an open wound. Yeah, I felt terrible.
Well, I hear tequila is a good cure for
Well, it was a mocktail, which made it worse. I didn't even have any alcohol in it.
All right, Sarah, welcome to the Bert Show. I love that you're putting yourself on the voice disguiser, and that's perfectly okay. Remember, you have to start this out with, I'm not a bad parent, but...
I'm not a bad parent, but I have 2 daughters, and when both of them were still infants, in my mind, and what I thought was young enough to where they weren't able to roll yet, I had placed both of them on the bed. I thought I put enough pillows around both of them, and both of them had fell off the bed, kind of bumped their heads twice. Mind you, both kids. And I didn't tell my husband until he told me that he dropped them. So I made him look like the bad guy.
I actually contemplated. So Sarah, you and I right there. Jimmy definitely fell off the bed once when he was a baby. It's crazy. You think that, they're fast little boogers.
That's just a part of growing up.
It really is. I think it's a rite of passage. And I had a ton of people hit me up and said the same thing. I actually sat there and debated whether or not to tell my husband, because I did not want to admit that it happened on my watch, that the kid fell off the bed. And I was like, I cannot withhold that information from my husband. So I ended up coming clean, but I wasn't happy about having to come clean. All right, Danielle, remember, you got to start it off with, I'm not a bad parent, but...
I'm not a bad parent, but I forgot to register my kindergartner, my 3rd child, for kindergarten.
No.
Oh, no.
Girl, you got a lot on your plate. It happens.
I do, and I'm figuring it out at the moment.
Okay.
Going through it as we speak.
She's a kindergarten dropout. She hasn't even started kindergarten yet.
In real time.
Exactly. Thank you.
All right. See, I tell you, you feel better when you get some of that stuff off of your chest. Cassie, any more parental mistakes that you would like to go ahead and admit and just get off your chest?
Mine are always a disaster. Like the one time I let my son, I just told you guys, ride a big wheel, and I didn't realize the driveway had a tilt to it, and he started going backwards. Well, the rest of that story is I sat him down right next to a fire ant hill, and then we got attacked by a wasp in the front yard. So I picked him up and screamed, running inside, stepped on a nail on the front steps, and almost dropped him down the stairs.
Ooh, that is an adventure.
Yes.
But I saved him, and he did not get injured, so it's a win.
Okay,
even if the rest
Supermom.
of it's chaos.
Yeah,
By the way, another rite of passage when you have a small child is hitting their head on the door frame when you're walking out of a room or into a room, because that most definitely happened to Jimmy.
Oh.
The feet.
How do you hit him on the door frame?
Well, because you have them on your hip, right? And you're walking through the door and like that side of the door, and you're so used to just you walking through a door that you're not used to another body there, and you just like, right, yeah.
Oh, poor Jimmy.
You don't measure the space accurately.
Makes a lot of sense now.
Right? So many things make sense. All right, Jessica, you're going to be our last one. Go ahead and say, I'm not a bad parent, but...
I'm not a bad parent, but when my son was little, I told him that they canceled his baseball game because it was going to be way too cold and I didn't want to go out.
Relatable. 100% relatable.
The Bert Show.